Guy they have to consider on this third down as well.
Top of the screen, just inside the end of the play clock. Reister, the tight end. First down.
Do you think they got too aggressive there defensively because that guy was completely open? That's an enormous third down for them, you know, to get 4 more downs and get out of their own end zone.
That's an instance where the defense brought more people than the offense can block. But what happened, Byron Leftwich was able to get the ball out of his hands. They did that earlier in the game and got the ball knocked down. Bill Cowher coaching, trying to explain to him what happened.
Tyrone Carter's 3rd year as a Steeler. Been around for a while. From the 22, Leftwich. Doesn't see anything he likes.
Doesn't do this very often.
No, takes off and runs out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
He doesn't run very often. He made the comment about how slow he was. He said, I'm the slowest black quarterback, but I'm not the slowest quarterback. And we asked him, he said, I was in the middle with everybody else, and I asked him, name 5 guys you're faster than. And he said, I can name 10, but I don't want to disrespect them. I said, well, then just name 1. And he finally gave up Chad Pennington, who I think he played with at Marshall for a year.
Yeah, who he followed at Marshall and took out of the record books in some occasions. Pennington held on to some.
He says he's not that slow. He put himself about 10th fastest in the whole league. I don't know that I'd go for that.
But he gained 6 and didn't force a throw. And on 2nd and 4, this throw is high and incomplete. Susie, more on Byron Leftwich.
Well, Mike, it seems that mobility is always a question with Byron Leftwich, and he points to guys like Dan Marino, Bernie Kosar. He says that's what gives him hope. But when he has little runs like that for 6 yards, often his teammates on the sideline are yelling out, Michael Brick, and just having a little fun.
He was having fun when he made that comment, being one of the slowest black quarterbacks in the league.
He's slow.
Yeah, that's one of the things that if an African-American says it, it becomes funny.
If I say it, I'm in trouble. So right. I'm happy he confirmed that he said it.
He said it, yeah.
Give me something to talk about.
3rd and 4, big defensive down for Pittsburgh. Polamalu's picked up, and the pass complete to Reggie Williams. To the 24-yard line, first down. Matt Jones threw a great block to Springham.
We tend to focus on the passers and the catchers, but it's the guys up front. It's the little things that allow this to happen. Troy Polamalu's coming up the middle. He just gets picked up. Nice job. Terrific job by the rookie, Maurice Jones-Drew. Gives Byron Leftwich the opportunity to hit Reggie Williams, and it's off to the races with number 11. I guarantee you, Jimmy Smith is standing down on those sidelines, just smiling from ear to ear.
Reggie Williams, 48-yard catch. That's the longest reception of his 3-year career. He's caught 8 balls tonight. Jones fields the hot shot. A couple of yards shy of the first down, but a good first down pickup. Jones has done a lot of it, but Jacksonville as a team has been very good on 3rd down through the air. Leftwich has been spot on.
Leftwich told us the other day that he doesn't know why this happens, but the Jacksonville offense always starts slowly. Said it's much better in the second half, much better even in the 4th quarter. But if he'd started a little quicker, there wouldn't be all this tension here tonight.
He said it's been that way since
he got here.
Right.
Reister, the tight end who had a big catch earlier, lines up as the fullback because of the Derek Winbush injury earlier tonight. Throw for the tall Jones. He never got to the spot. The contact by Ike Taylor came within that 5-yard zone to start.
What's been so impressive to me, Mike, is the way the Jacksonville Jaguars have decided to conduct this drive. You have a 3-point lead. Your defense is playing great. You would think somewhere you would take some time off the clock by running the ball. Well, no. They just keep putting the ball in the air, remaining aggressive. That's a heck of a decision by Carl Smith, their offensive coordinator. And this was what Jack Del Rio was talking about earlier. He said, we have to be able to gate first downs on 3rd down.
Another 3rd down, more pressure screen. Maurice Drew cannot escape the strength of James Farrier. Ryan Clark, the free safety there, so 4th down They'll assess how long before the decision kicker goes.
Here comes the pressure up the middle. Maurice Drew gets out in front, and he's got his linebacker, or his lineman actually in front of him, and it doesn't give him a chance to turn upfield and pick up the 2 yards he needed.
They're going to go for the field goal here. Del Rio makes the decision with 17 on the play clock. So Jacksonville's rushing in here for a 32-yard field goal for Josh Scobie. And he made it. Well, they practice that all the time, rushing onto the field and pulling off the field goal attempt. They come away with it. And 6-0 Jags with 6:15 to go.
Imagine yourself holding onto a moving rocket as it propels at speeds over 300 miles per hour. With ESPN, you can experience the fastest quarter mile in all of sports. The best in each class. Top fuel, funny car, pro stuff, motorcycles, pushing their machines as fast as the laws of physics will allow. NHRA drag racing on ESPN. South Africa's top performers now playing on ESPN. Tradition lives here. Pride lives here. College football lives here. All season long on ESPN.
Line drive, left center field. Chris Boomer dives and he's got it. He caught it.
Great moments happen in baseball every week on ESPN. ESPN continues with the coverage of the toughest league in the world, the Italian Serie A. This Wednesday, Siena takes on Torino team determined to conquer all 3 points. It's Torino against Siena this Wednesday, live on ESPN.
The defending Super Bowl champs being shut out since 1981. We have never seen the defending Super Bowl champs shut out at any time in the season that they are defending the title. It's only happened 4 times in NFL history that the defending Super Bowl champs have been shut out in that following year. The 80 Steelers the last time it happened, and then 3 times the Raiders. Return by Santonio Holmes. Stopped at the 22-yard line by Tony Gilbert. The Steelers in week 14 of that 1980 season, and then the 3 in a row for the Raiders in 81 in weeks 4, 5, and 6, Lions, Broncos, Chiefs.
That's not a very good season for them, is it? Be shut out 3 times in a row. Wow. That's almost like this season where they have a chance to do that.
You have to figure at most the Steelers will have 2 possessions left. They're going to have to get more yards than they've gotten, obviously.
Ron Haynes is the back. And Roethlisberger's throw is hauled in by Nathan Washington in front of Darryl Smith. Pittsburgh, which toyed with a no huddle, talked about using it some tonight, did use it in the preseason. It was part of the plan. And Roethlisberger is feeling very comfortable in the no huddle during the summer, and Bill Cowher likes the opportunities it presents. So they go to it here. And the pressure that time forced him to get rid of it quickly.
Don't want to jump the gun here and say that the game is over, but Jacksonville is 21-0 when it is leading by at least 6 points anytime during the second half. We're late in the second half, and they just got 4, 5, and 6. So you might think to yourself, this game's over.
No, it's one mistake away from having Pittsburgh get back into this ball game. This is a critical 3rd down for both of these teams.
Just saying, 21-0, there's historic precedence in that.
Roethlisberger is flushed. He's so good when he has to improvise. And here completes it for the first down to Nate Washington at the 40-yard line. When you ask what's the difference between Charlie Batch, 2 Jaguars injured on that play, Paul Spicer and Bobby McCray, they may have tried to meet at Roethlisberger and run into each other.
They did, and he wasn't there. Ben will step up in the pocket. There comes the pressure outside. Both of them hit one another. Then continuing to buy time, sees the field. If there's one thing that differentiates Charlie Batch from Ben Roethlisberger, it's his ability, Ben's, to get outside the pocket and make plays. They almost get him. Gets outside, looking downfield. Nate Washington says, here I am.
This is exactly what Jack Del Rio said. He said, quote, he is capable of improvisation. He shrugs off a guy, buys time, then he throws it 50 yards, and bam, and you did everything right. You would think on that play, the Jacksonville defense did everything right. And it didn't go 50 yards, of course, but that is what Del Rio worried about.
Good news is Spicer and McCray, the defensive ends, who, as you saw in the replay, had their own helmet-to-helmet contact. Both are able to get up under their own power. Remember, Reggie Hayward, as Joe mentioned in the last quarter, ruptured Achilles. So that's 3 defensive ends out of the Jacksonville lineup. They're here for the moment. The snap takes us to 5 minutes, fourth quarter. Roethlisberger intercepted by Rasheem Mathis, who's got some blockers. To the 29-yard line, Veron Haynes runs him out of bounds.
Now remember, Rasheem Mathis last year picked off a pass in overtime and went 41 yards to give the Jacksonville Jaguars a victory. He just jumps this route. This is as good defensive corner as you can play. Not only is he in position with Santonio Holmes trying to make the play, he just catches the football, turns, and heads upfield.
And Holmes is still going.
And Joe, you talked before about the defensive plays that Pittsburgh traditionally makes. This is where Jacksonville made the play that you would have expected Pittsburgh to make in the previous possession.
When there's somebody great on one side of the ball, it raises the level of the other guys, and I'd say Jacksonville has met every challenge defensively.
After the first Steeler turnover of the night, Taylor is stopped. A flag is down over on the sideline.
Illegal motion, offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Reggie Williams. Joe, you brought up the Rasheem Mathis play of a year ago. Remember, Roethlisberger got hurt in the game against San Diego, so Tommy Maddox was playing quarterback at Heinz Field, and it was the Mathis interception, 41-yard game winner in overtime, his first career touchdown. And the Jaguars got the victory in Pittsburgh.
He had 5 interceptions last year. Now he's got, 2 on the year, 1 in each of the games so far.
Throwing from the 34 to Ernest Wilford, who should try to stay in bounds, goes out there over at marking at the 26-yard line.
Speaking of the Mathis interception last year, this year, of course, that would be referred to as a walk-off interception. As everything becomes a walk-off something. Burris's catch yesterday, a walk-off touchdown.
How about a runoff?
Walk-off.
Gotta say walk-off.
Walk-off. Baseball influence.
We mentioned before that snap that the Steelers threw the pick inside of 5 minutes. Important because of what happened just there with the receiver making the catch going out of bounds. Now the clock is held till the snap, so 40 seconds Jacksonville could have saved by staying in bounds by the board. Taylor using the block of the center, Meester, also shown the sideline and goes out of bounds.
What we've seen tonight is the value of Fred Taylor. They lost Greg Jones, you mentioned it earlier, Mike, who was going to spell him. A healthy Fred Taylor changes this offense completely. Those are 75 of the toughest yards anybody's ever going to gain. He just terrific. Here goes the jump step. Ready? Give me the hop and the jump. There I go, outside. Force him to catch you going laterally. And that's what he's done tonight.
Wrestled out of bounds against his will.
Yep. Again, those 2 out-of-bounds plays, that's 75 seconds, $1:15. You'd be down around 3.5 if they could have stayed in bounds. in field goal range. Leftwich goes for Jones. Incomplete. Field goal attempt's going to be about 41, 42 yards here.
I just love the play call. Jacksonville is just not sitting down, running the ball 3 times, saying, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to run the clock out. No. They're giving their receivers, their playmakers, an opportunity to go make plays.
Good from 31, good from 32, this from 42. Two-score game, 4:26 left.
One of the things Jack Del Rio said when we asked him, what did you learn about your team after beating Dallas, coming back and beating Dallas? He said, everybody else learned. I know my guys. I mean, and he later said you have to respect opponents but not fear them. He was a very confident coach going into this game. It seemed like he thought he had the better team, didn't it, Joe?
Well, I think he was very confident. Bill Cowher always is one that is cautious in his observation, looks at things a little bit differently, looks at the broad scope of things. Jack just really has taken the time to build it. James Harris and Jack Del Rio have taken the time to build this football team in their image. James Harris was a big quarterback. He's got a big quarterback. They've got big receivers. They've got big defensive tackles. They know what they wanted, and it's taken the 4 years to get to this level.
You don't want to, especially in my position, risk invoking Howard Cosell. But Howard would talk about this being a statement game by Jacksonville. Small market team, but as Mike said, is not known much outside of this area except the football cognoscenti. And if they can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night, they're in the big leagues.
Big leg. Holmes won't return it. Did you just drop cognoscente? Kornheiser just dropped cognoscente.
Cognoscenti, but I knew you'd know about it.
I'm very cognizant of that, yes.
That's right.
So Jacksonville will start from the 20, and obviously you're going to get a lot of passes here from Roethlisberger, down 2 scores with 4.5 left and a couple of timeouts. Of note, the Steelers do not have a rushing first down in this game. Since 1941, there have only been 2 times when the Steelers have not had a rushing first down for an entire game. 1903 against the Ravens, 1966 against the Cowboys.
In all likelihood, if they're going to get one in this game, it'll be from Ben Roethlisberger scrambling to make a play.
It's just the example of Cowher's teams live by the ability to run, and Jacksonville has taken Pittsburgh away from exactly what it does for a living. And Roethlisberger completes it to Santonio Holmes. Down at the 35. Pittsburgh in hurry up, obviously, here.
4 minutes and 15 seconds. This game is not over. Ben Roethlisberger, I believe, right now is in a very comfortable place in the no-huddle offense.
Pressured, hand up by the headgear, but no flag as Ben comes down, and Bobby McRae, hurt on the last series, makes the sack back at the 29.
Sure looked like a face mask. He got strapped up high.
Ben did not get up complaining about it, but live it looked like it was up near there. Complete to Cedric Wilson and out of bounds to stop the clock at 3:37.
This is the kind of pressure that they're putting on. Bobby McRae going right around the corner on Max Stark. No, he doesn't. He has him right around the shoulder pad. Good job by the official. Good job by Terry McCauley.
Terry McCauley's kind of where that camera is, but 5 yards to the left. So he's got a clean look in at Roethlisberger's right side as he throws. Welcome back, Ben. Third down. Off the hands of Holmes and incomplete. Remember, rookie wide receiver, first road game. That last one that was the pick, he was still running after Ben threw it. You don't know about the communication. And now 4th down, Steelers will go for it.
Awful lot of traffic in the middle of the football field, trying to get it through those big hands. 6'7", 6'6", standing there like trying to throw through a bunch of redwoods.
Well, as good as the Jaguars have been on defense, their crowd has been terrific as well, and we'll let you enjoy them on this 4th down. Up for grabs. Incomplete. Jaguar ball.
You ready to say it's over yet?
No, I've been around these things too often, but the Jaguars have to feel pretty good. Now they can burn the clock a little bit. Pittsburgh will use both of their timeouts, I'm sure, to stop the clock. The 2-minute will give them another one. But look at the hit that Mike Peterson delivers on Ben Roethlisberger. Deion Grant almost has a shot at it.
And Michelle told us in the pregame when she went through the explanation of the appendectomy that Ben was going to probably have to deal with going through some pain tonight.
Yeah.
Even though it was a laparoscopic appendectomy.
His name is Mike Peterson.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean,
if you want to name pain, tonight you can name pain and call him Mike Peterson.
Taylor. He gets a couple of yards. Power will stop the clock here with 3:18 to go.
I mean, I know you say it's not over, and I'm not trying to contradict that, but they have to score twice.
Well, let me just say
they haven't
this.
scored once.
Let me just
now
say
they have to score twice.
If you take a look at the Giant-Eagle game yesterday, 23-7, 10 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Brian Westbrook winds up fumbling.
Right.
The Giants wind up scoring. All of a sudden, they get back into that football game. If something stupid happens
But
to Jacksonville,
in that
they're
game,
right back in.
both teams had already scored. There was more offense in that game. Pittsburgh has generated no offense in this game.
I agree, but you see the end result of that one. I'm just thinking, if somebody makes a mistake and puts the ball on the ground, Pittsburgh scoops it up, 3 minutes, 18 seconds, 3 minutes to go, you don't know. The great thing
You think
about
Herman
this,
Edwards is around to scoop it up? You think that's going to happen, Joe?
I'm sure he's watching.
2nd and 8. Taylor's had a good rushing half. With 74 yards rushing this half. And another timeout here for Pittsburgh. Penalty marker is down. Beg your pardon. Hold it. So no need for that timeout.
But it brings up a question for Bill Cowher. Do you give them the penalty? If you give them the penalty, you give them another down, which means that they'll burn another 40
Holding.
seconds.
Offense. Number 89. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's why he asked, where's the ball? Mercedes Lewis called for the flag, the rookie 1st-round draft pick out of UCLA. Hines Ward has taken Santonio Holmes under his wings, trying to teach the young wide receiver. And Holmes going through some of those growing pains here tonight. And Michelle pointed out the frustration for the Super Bowl MVP Ward.
Don't believe that Jacksonville should put this ball in the air either. I still think they should run it, make Pittsburgh use their last timeout, and then you'll be able to use the 40 seconds after that and burn it off the clock.
Taylor trying to protect the ball and stay in bounds. The 45, and Cowher takes his last timeout. 3:05 to go, and let's go down to Susie Colvin.
Well, Mike, this has been a Jacksonville team that has been underappreciated, mostly by the national media, but not around the league. And Jack Del Rio told us he doesn't care how they're perceived as long as they are tough and physical, just like he was as a linebacker. What he is most proud of, and especially tonight, is the 4 coaches that are on his schedule to start the season. Bill Parcells and the Cowboys. The Jags beat them last week. Tonight, the defending Super Bowl champs and Bill Cowher. Up next, it's Tony Dungy, followed by Joe Gibbs. The highly competitive Del Rio looks forward to that challenge.
You know, Susie, what I like about that is that when you look at this schedule here in these 4 games, is that was Jack's response to Tony's question of, well, what'd you think when you saw this schedule? Because people go, wow, how are you going to get out of that 2-2? And that was his response. But it was
on a personal level, that was very interesting.
But it was in the light of, as Susie said, that's the focus I want the team to have. You guys have to take each challenge on individually. For me, it's a measuring stick as a coach, as it is for you as players. Taylor is stopped. It's 4th down. Pittsburgh is powerless to stop the clock. And this punt should come around the 2:20 mark.
Jack Del Rio is reaching a point where other coaches in the National Football League are going to start to look at him in the same way he looks at those 4 men. They're going to have to start respecting what he's done. Taken this franchise, built it, got it better and better every year. Like I said, 12-4 last year. They talk about, oh, well, you know, you were 8-1 at the end of the year, didn't really play anybody, but they learned how to win. That's what they've learned to do, is learn how to win.
Run it all the way down, maximize the time, and Hansen will try to stop him inside the 20 again. Holmes a fair catch at the 9-yard line. So the defending Super Bowl champions, the team wearing the bullseye in the National Football League this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers, shut out through the first 57 minutes and 47 seconds of this one. They have not lost since that defeat at the hands of the Bengals in the first week of December in 05, and it's been since December of 03, since the Jets shut out the Steelers, that Pittsburgh has been blank.
And by the way, Jacksonville is 9-8 lifetime versus Bill Cowher and the Steelers. And of teams that have played against Cowher more than 10 times, only Jacksonville and Tennessee have a winning record against Bill Cowher.
Another drive starting from deep in their own territory, and Roethlisberger just gets it away. Ron Haynes gets up to the 11, and we'll get to the 2-minute warning. Pittsburgh Steelers banged around, battered, ran into a team just about as good as they are right now. It's not a hair better early.
September is always a month to remember for sports fans around the world on ESPN. The UEFA Champions League begins the quest for the ultimate prize of European football with match days 1 and 2. The hard-hitting action of American football gets the regular season underway with the NFL on ESPN. Racing fans can look forward to action from the top open-wheel drivers of the IndyCar Series. The PGA Tour continues showcasing the top golfers of the world. You have to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Sitting with the high rollers of the 2006 World Series of Poker. ESPN goes to Italy to showcase some of the great clubs and traditions of Italian football. And Spanish football returns to ESPN for another great season of the Stars. It's great sports this September on ESPN.
You want game? This fall, ESPN Game Plan has up to 150 extra college football games. Team matchups and rivalries from major conferences. All available when you order your exclusive ESPN Game Plan pay-per-view package. It's maximum college football.
Get full access to live college football games online with ESPN's Game Plan. To order Game Plan, go to ESPN.com and search Game Plan.
We got Steve Levy flank left, John Anderson right. Full Monday Night Football post-game coverage coming up on SportsCenter. More on the Terrell Owens injury. The World Series champs, the Chicago White Sox, are they done? Big series with the Tigers, and the Mets clinch their division. All on SportsCenter with primetime afterwards. So the night is young here on ESPN. Pittsburgh out of timeouts. Roethlisberger's pass is caught by Hines Ward. Nope, incomplete.
Mike, the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers crossed the 50-yard line, there were 3 minutes left in the first quarter. They got all the way to Jacksonville's 46-yard line and had to punt. That's the job that Mike Smith, the defensive coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and his guys have done tonight.
The only time they cross it since then, they're punting.
That's right.
They at least get it
across. They run across to go cover the punt.
Third down. Here comes the pressure. Roethlisberger throws, intercepted by Rasheed Mathis. Jacksonville down to the 1-yard line.
So much for people referring to a defense as a prevent defense and allowing somebody to gain yards.
Again, 21-0 when Jacksonville is leading by at least 6 points anytime during the second half. Now it's going to go to 22-0. It's history.
There comes the pressure outside. That's Scott Starks, number 31. Just enough to get Ben to blink.
And now, guys, the only drama left here at 9-0 is, will this be the lowest scoring game in the 561-game, 37-year history of Monday Night Football? There's never been a single-digit total score for a game in Monday Night history with the Jaguars taking a knee. It looks like that, in fact, will happen here.
Is that what you want, or do you want him to go in? Do you want to set the record on your watch?
No, I don't care. I don't care if it happens or not.
Had the opportunity to play in a 9-5 game against the Dallas Cowboys.
This is 9-0. The lowest scoring Monday Night Football game was 1990. Remember that 7-3 game with the Giants and the 49ers played in December at the height of the Giants and 49ers rivalry? There's some great hitting in that game. I remember that one specifically, but that is the lowest scoring Monday Night Football game, at least for the next minute and 5 seconds.
I think I said early in the game, take the under. I think that would have been safe.
Actually, it would have been safe if you'd done it before the game started.
Roethlisberger returned, took a lot of shots. But this Jacksonville defense was too tough for anyone. They outgained Pittsburgh by 210 yards in the second half.
This is pretty impressive, watching all these people stay here and cheer their team on like this for just kneeling down after the effort that they made for the entire game, particularly on defense.
Jaguars 9, Steelers nothing. And Susie's with Jack Del Rio.
Jack, what does this win mean for your team?
Well, it's probably a little more than just a second win because it's such a big, defending Super Bowl champs, opponent we have a lot of respect for. Really admire the entire organization, the Steelers, the way they do their business. Very proud of our guys to come in tonight, show up on Monday night on ESPN and have such a good showing.
Defense so close to your heart. Describe the play of your defense tonight.
I'm sorry?
Defense is so close to your heart. Describe their play tonight.
It was a great effort. There was a lot of good hitting out there. Two physical teams going at each other, and I'm really proud of the effort our guys gave forth.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Susie.
His defense, Susie, only allowed 26 rushing yards, fewest for a Steeler team since 1982. Here's Michelle with Byron Leftwich.
Byron, what a performance. I mean, it wasn't as though it was an offensive juggernaut, but you guys did enough. How did you get it done?
We moved the ball well, but we did a bad job of scoring points. And for us to move to the next level, we got to have more than 9 points. But we played a tough team, man. The Super Bowl champs, it was a tough physical game, and we came out on top.
Given that, and now you're 2-0, beating Dallas, and as you said, the defending champs. What does this mean to you and the team?
Maybe people will start talking about us now or something. I don't know. We don't care. The next game is the coach. We're going to prepare ourselves. We take them 1 week at a time, and we're going to fight for 4 quarters, and that's all we try to do.
Last thing, what did you say to your friend Ben Roethlisberger as he left the field?
I just told him keep his head up, keep fighting. He's a hell of a quarterback, and he's going to do the right things, and they're going to be right in it there at the end. So I just told him keep his head up, get himself healthy, and he'll begin to play like he always plays.
Congratulations, Byron.
Thanks.
Jacksonville goes to Indy, Michelle. Pittsburgh will take on Cincinnati. Well, next week, more Monday Night Football history. The first time ever we've had undefeated teams week 1, obviously, week 2, and week 3 in Monday Night history. 2-0 New Orleans against 2-0 Atlanta coming up next week on Monday Night Football. Sports Center is next. Coverage from here, and of course, everything in sports. With Tony Kornheiser, Joe Theismann, Susie Culver, Michelle Tafoya, and the women and men of our Monday Night Football team. Mike Tirico, thanks for watching this presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Up we go to sports.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.